Hey everyone, today we're taking a look at the Bombusbee exclusive white version of the Furay Planet Veteran William from Maestro Union. I really like the first release of this figure in brown. It was one of my favorite figures of last year, and my wife pre-ordered the white version for me, so I'm really excited for this one. First, we'll take a look at some of the details. Sculpt-wise, this is the same as the first release that came in brown. The only difference is this has a vest instead of the jacket. So overall, just like the first release, I think the sculpt is great on this. There's some nice fur sculpting throughout. The wolf head looks very nice. It's got a nice snarl going. I love how in the pants it looks like the fabric's kind of taut. So yeah, overall the sculpt is still great. For the vest, this is soft and pliable just like the first Veteran Williams jacket, and I think it looks really nice. It's a nice contrast with the white. It's sculpted well so it actually looks puffy like an insulated vest would. You can see on the profile there the back looks like it's got the different puffs. The yellowish orange paint is a bit glossy while the tan is more satin. It does have a bit of a wash over it to help bring out some of the details. On the collar here, the paint's a little bit fuzzy on mine along the back, and then I think it's supposed to have a dry brush on it, but mine kind of just has like a yellow line along the top here. But it is on the back of the figure where I can't really see it. Well, it's displayed, so not a huge deal there. Over here it looks a bit better. But the fur on the collar also looks pretty nice. It looks a little like matted and old. The buttons are done well. You've got black on this side and shiny silver on this side. Those are sculpted nicely as well. Got the little pockets. It's even got stitching in there, so that looks nice. On the shoulders, he has epaulettes with a little black button, some more stitching. The belt on him is the same as the first release, but it comes with some like giant nails instead of shotgun shells. But you can still put the shotgun shells in there if you'd like. The paint on the fur is done well. There's a few different shades of white here. There's an off-white, almost grayish, and then a lighter white dry brushed over top of that. So it doesn't just look like plain bright white everywhere. On the tufts of fur and on the back of the tail here, there's some darker gray paint. And on the face, there's a bit of yellowish brown paint under the eyes and along the side of the snout. On top of the snout, darker gray. And that continues up the head. The face that comes on him in the package, this one has the darkest paint application of the three faces that mine came with, I believe. There's another one that's a little lighter for comparison. So it may just depend on which one you get, how the paint will be applied. Mine does have a little chip on the snoot here, which isn't a huge deal. The neutral face is maybe my least favorite of the three faces. I still think it's good, but I think the other faces are done exceptionally well. It does have the glossy gums and teeth again, just like the first release. This little collar floof is soft and pliable. For the pants, these are black and then they have a brown dry brush over top to help bring out some of these wrinkles and the textured detail. That looks nice. And then for his claws and toes, those are painted black. For accessories, you saw the neutral face that comes on him in the package. Here is an open mouth face. This one looks very nice. Looks very angry here. The inside of the mouth is painted well. It's nice and glossy. And the ears are back a bit more. He really looks ferocious. And then he also comes with this head with the cigar. He has one eye kind of closed a little bit and the ear cocked. On the first release, the cigar was a separate piece that came in a little baggie. In this one, it's attached. You could probably pull that out if you don't want it there. I may end up doing that. You're definitely less likely to lose it in this release. But these both look nice. I think the paint's done a little bit better on these than the head that comes on him in the package. It's a bit more subtle and not as prominent on top. There is still a bit of variation. This one's a bit more gray than this one. But overall, I like them both. For hands, it comes with these gripping hands in the package that can serve as fists as well. It also comes with trigger finger hands, open clawing hands, and even more splayed open kind of like style posed hands. Comes with these 4 big nails. These are in a little plastic baggie in the package and then you can just put them in the belt here. I already put them all in here so I don't lose them, but they're different shapes and sizes. You can see the heads have some different shapes there. Rectangular and square ones, and this one has some facets on it, and then the tips are a little bit different as well. And these are cast in like a metallic plastic. They look pretty nice. And then it comes with this axe or hatchet. This isn't attached to the belt in the package. It has a little hook there that you can hook to the belt. So it has this little holster. This flap comes over the top, and you can remove the weapon. The holster is painted well. It's brown, the lighter brown dry brushing over it, and it's got a little metal button there. Mine missed the mark a little bit, but it's not too bad. It still looks pretty good. And then there's also some dry brushing over that little button to make it look like it's a little rusty. As for the axe, we have two different metallics on the blade here. This dark gunmetal, and then for the edge of the blade, a brighter silver. And that looks very nice. This is sculpted well. It has a bit of texture to it, which looks nice. For the majority of the handle, it looks like this is just brown plastic that it's cast in. Maybe could have used a little bit of a wash, but I don't think it looks bad. And then for the wrap on the handle, it's black with a light brown dry brushing over it. So overall, I think that looks pretty good. And it fits in the hand pretty well. That's the trigger finger hand, but should fit in the gripping hands pretty well too. Hands are a little stiff out of the package. I did need to heat them up a bit for this next accessory, which is a massive chainsaw. This chainsaw is, let's break out the ruler here. So this chainsaw is just a smidge over 6 inches at the tip there. I think this is pretty cool. It has a W sculpted in on the side there. And then on this side, it says Ripper. The blade is a nice metallic finish and has some blood splatter on there. And you can see there's some battle damage on this side. Some more blood and different battle damage. This has some more slash marks. This is a softer, more pliable plastic. And so is the handle here, so this can wiggle around a little bit. There's a wash over the grip here to help bring out all the little nubbins on the sculpt. More of that red splatter all over the yellow. And the metallic paint is applied pretty cleanly everywhere. It looks really nice. The handle's black for the most part. Then one little hit of silver on each side for this rivet. So I think this is really cool. Always fun to have a giant weapon. Like I said, I did need to heat the gripping hands up a little bit to fit this massive grip in there. This is a bit thick, but just a couple seconds with the hairdryer and the hands were very pliable. It also comes with alternate legs, so you can have him full werewolf from the waist down. I prefer the pants overall. I like the way that these are sculpted so that they're tattered and it covers up the knee joint. On these, since it doesn't overhang the knee joint as much, it looks a little bit more apparent that there's a joint there. It's not terrible, but I just prefer the pants personally. And finally, it comes with a big neck floof. So if you don't want the jacket on there, you can put the neck floof on. Here he is with the big neck floof. The difference in the paint on the white is a bit more apparent here, unfortunately. This smaller collar is a bit more gray than the big floof is. And then the face, this neutral face at least, even darker overall. Here it is with a different face to see if that looks any better or worse. It's not quite as apparent on camera, but in person there's more of a difference between this first little collar and the face and the bigger floof here. And the bigger floof's even a little brighter than the rest of the figure. So I think that's just going to depend on what sort of paint you get and your specific figure. Since there does seem to be a bit of variation between these faces, I assume there'll be some variation between each figure. So it may just be your luck of the draw there. On to Articulation. This is going to be the same as the first release, so if you've seen that video, or if you have that figure, you'll know what to expect here, but we'll run through it anyway. There's a double ball peg at the head here, and then another ball peg at the bottom of the neck. So with that, you can shift the head around however you'd like. You can look up this much, down this much. The shoulders move up this much. And there's also a ball peg in the shoulder there, so you can get a little bit of wiggle on that. Just a little bit. There's a cap there. We'll just pull this apart. So there's the ball peg, and then the cap, and the ball in there. So you can see you can get a little bit of wiggle on that. There is a bicep swivel single jointed elbows. They get about 90 degrees. All of the hands do have a hinge and a swivel. Just a horizontal hinge. I do wish the gripping hands, or at least the trigger finger hands, had a vertical hinge. It would make holding the chainsaw a little bit easier. There's a ball at the diaphragm and then also one at the waist. Let's see what the waist one looks like there. So leaning forward with both joints, going forward pretty far. And back, not quite as far, but still a decent amount. And you've got some side to side tilt as well. The hips will go out to the side, almost to full splits. You can move forward about this much. They do kick out to the side a little bit. Back this much. The butt cheek gets in the way just a bit. And then a single jointed knee gets about 45 degrees. And then the secondary knee goes back all the way and forward about 45 degrees. And then the foot, and go back this far, forward this far, and there is an ankle rocker. The tail is on a ball peg, so that can move around. And then there's a ball at each of these segments. So you can get a little bit of posing out of this. It's not going to bend a ton just because it's bulky. For size and comparisons, it's going to depend a little bit how you have it posed. If you have the head shifted up or down, it's going to change the height. And then depending on how you have the legs posed, it'll change the height. Here he's standing at about 8 1/4 to the top of the head. Here he is next to a Marvel Legends Nightcrawler and a NECA Last Ronin Raphael. So you can see he's got quite a bit of size to him. Here he is with the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Lexion and Furay Planet Master Wang. Master Wang's posed a bit here, so the height comparison isn't 100% accurate, but it'll give you an idea of what they'll look like posed. Here he is with the Noda Wukong and SH Figuarts Fushiguro from Jujutsu Kaisen with a G.I. Joe Classified Series timber. And it's very tempting to attempt to customize this Veteran William into a Divine Dog totality, but then I would potentially ruin a cool figure, but the urge is there. And finally, maybe the most important comparison to help decide if you want this, here's the original release of the brown Veteran William. I think they look pretty good together. The brown one does have a bit more color variation going on, but the white one is a bit higher contrast. So really it's just personal preference here. I will do some swaps of the vest and the jacket so we can see what that looks like. Here they are with the jacket swapped. I think this looks pretty good. The green jacket on the white William I like a lot. The vest on the brown William maybe blends in a little bit with the fur on his chest, but I don't think it looks bad. I don't hate it. And here's the white William with the soft goods add-on jacket. This jacket came out shortly after the first release of the brown Veteran William. I think the blue jacket looks really good against the white fur here. This is a cool look. So overall, I think this is just as good as the first release, just in a different color and with some different accessories. I would still absolutely recommend that you pick up one of these versions of Veteran William. It just depends on which color you prefer and which accessories you like more. Like I said previously, the first Veteran William was one of my favorite figures of last year, and this one is also great. So I think you're going to have a lot of fun with either one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you decide if you want to get the white version of Veteran William. Let me know in the comments below if you'll be picking up either of these. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.